Morning, everybody. Well, it's Conte reporting. It's original music by Adam Kalman. Adam Kalman, thank you for sending it. Misinformation. Misinformation. I'm feeling it. Yeah, Mark's Conte reporting. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome. Come on in. The water's warm. This is a submission by Adam Kalman. I told you. I'm going to promote you guys. I'm going to promote music. I like live. You know, I like to see somebody out in front of the camera making a jackass out of themselves, like I do every day. I get out in front of the camera and play your song, but this is cool. I'll take it, man. It's a good original song called Misinformation. And always subscribe to Adam Kalman. Adam Kalman over here. Whack the subscribe button. Thank you for your submission. I'm sorry I'm talking over your video, but people can, you know, it's a fucking, I gotta get moving here. The intro is good. It's good. It's good stuff, man. It's good visual. I like the idea of putting misinformation, the subject, into a song right in your face, right in your goddamn face. It's cool. Critique, 5 minutes. That's too long a song. Chop it down to 3. Give it to me in 3:05, motherfucker. A little shorter, maybe, but it's good. It's good stuff. Got a good bass. I'm digging it. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, pal. Mark's Conte reporting. So how you doing, man? How you doing, man? We're going to talk about vaccines, man. It's out. You heard? Have you heard? Are you ready to get in line for your mRNA-1273? We're living in the space age, man. You can get a vaccine. A vaccine will prevent will stop all your problems. All your problems will go away. You can take off your mask and you can walk through the atmosphere without worrying about getting attacked by the virus. Attack. You heard the governor yesterday say that. He used the word attack. The governor from New Jersey. I'm going to play his crap. And listen to this guy, man. He said attack. The A word. What does that mean? Was it attacked by who? By the virus? The virus attacked us? Or did someone use the virus to attack us? What exactly are you talking about? Because it sure sounds like an attack. That's what you're trying to say. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to move they're moving the goalpost. It's called moving the goalpost. Move the goalpost. Move it and now make it an attack like 9/11. Can't say that it was corporations and sleazy fucks inside the country that did it. You can't say that, right? Why not? Because they control everything. You can't. What are you going to do? Accuse the banking industry of destabilizing the economy because they went bust? Because they went belly up and they needed another $2 trillion to stay solvent in a fiat currency system that fails, that's failing us, doubling down on a bad system that keeps failing. Put up a cover story. Oh, yeah, coronavirus. Yeah, fucking don't come out of your house. You're going to die. And there goes your small business. There went your small business. Bye-bye. So that was pretty heavy. That was a pretty heavy opening. I think I just shot my load on that one, man, because I gave you the whole fucking picture in one crazy sentence. So while you're listening, go to marcusconte.com. Kindly click around, watch videos here. There's all this stuff. I talked to this fine gentleman. This kid was great yesterday, Jake. Sitting in the park. Turns out he's a college grad. He went to Syracuse. He's a SVA major. He's a video guy. He was very coy and very, very cautious of me, but I got to talk to him because I saw he was cool. I could see his brain across the park, right? I wanted to talk to him. But that was a good conversation. We talked about some stuff. I don't even remember what we talked about. And I did a walk around proposing questions yesterday. I walked around the morgue, right, at that hospital that says we are heroes, and you know what we're finding out, man. it was occurring to me that the goalposts are being moved. Right? We were told that we are going to fucking die. We're going to die, right? And all these safety measures were put in place because we thought we were going to die. Now we realize that we're not going to die at all. That very, very, very few people die with millions of cases, small amount of death, but nothing changed in the policy. Why? Why? Was it that points at cover up, be afraid. Be afraid of the terrorists. That worked in 2008. Worked for a while. Be afraid. Everyone's a terrorist. Blame somebody. Blame the Arabs. Blame the Muslims for our fuck up. Right? Now, blame the virus. Blame the virus, and it's connected to China. Right? It's bullshit. Right? Nobody knows where this thing came from. We don't know if it's organic. We don't know if it appears to be man-made. Was the virus released and then stimulated through some other measure? Why do some people get more extremely exposed than others? A lot of it doesn't add up, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm someone who puts together, I try to put together the pieces, right? I keep my mouth shut and I look at the evidence. I look at the stories as they come out. What story are they telling us about this thing? And it is just my assumption, and I talked about it in this video. I stepped on it. I started to step on it in this video right here. So anyway, so click around, become a Patreon of this channel. Thank you very much, Carol Hayes. Whoa, Carol Hayes for ongoing support. Thank you so much. And Carol Hayes she's reading my book. Thank you, Carol, if you're here. I don't know if you're here right now, but are you here? Are you here, Carol? Are you here? Is Carol Hayes in the house? I don't see you in there. But anyway, he's drinking off camera. Wonder why he was drinking off camera, says Angie TV. Yeah, he had a beer. So what? That's just sitting in the park in the sun drinking a beer. All the bars are closed. What's wrong with that? There is a law in New York. It's open containers in parks. You can get a ticket for that. You get a $100 ticket, but he was willing to. The police are not really interested in that right now. They don't care. There's people smoking weed all over the place. It's technically illegal in New York, but the police don't. I can't say that they don't write tickets for open container. In this climate, I would doubt it. I tend to doubt that open container. So he rolled the dice. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't want to drink his beer in public, but. Probably because of that. Because he doesn't know who I am. Maybe I'm a cop. He doesn't know. So anyway, here's my book, right? Wake Yourself Up. And it occurs to me that I may have been a little ahead of my time. Listen to this. Man experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings, as something separate from the rest. A kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison restricting us to our personal desires, said Albert Einstein. Now, think about that. Think about why people are pissed off and lost right now. They lost their ground. Everything is closed. I mean, they even shut down people's socializing, where a mother would bring her kid to the karate class, or a guy would go to an AA meeting, a woman would sit in an AA meeting, and friends, they shut everything down. That's harmful. There's a harmful effect to that if you're attached to those things. It's harmful if you're attached to those things. Me, I'm someone who discovered something about mind a long time ago, maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago. And I realized exactly what Albert Einstein was saying, that to free yourself, you have to free yourself from desire. That's also very Buddhist. That's what the Buddha said, that desire drives the insanity, the monkey mind, the constant craving, the never-ending desire for more, right? And addiction, right? Getting caught in patterns. That's what the Buddha was talking about. To stay in the moment, you free yourself of that. And that's what this book is about, is what I wrote. What if you had access to all the world's knowledge at once? What if you didn't need a book, teacher, or the internet to see it? Imagine if no matter where you were in life, You had a free, unlimited access to the nature of all things. All you needed was to see, and you would suddenly know. And what if instead of a supercomputer hooked to your brain, you already had this access deep within you, a complete mindset that witnesses all things expand from one? It's pretty heavy, man. I wrote that years ago. As ordinary human beings, without exception, we all have. I'm only going to read a little bit of it. I'm not going to go on. I'm not going to bore you. We're going to get into the stories in a second. Just let me get some people get here, and this is for Carol Hayes, because it's and also the book is free. Just go on my webpage and you can click it open and read it and talk about it. Right? As ordinary human beings, without exception, we all have the capacity to see the nature of things as they are. This couldn't be more relevant right now, because this is what people are dealing with. They don't know how to be alone. Me, I'm someone with my dick in, I ride a bicycle with my dick in my hand, flying through Manhattan, carefree. Live your life carefree. That's how I live. I'm the fool in the tarot deck. That's how I see myself. I think we all see ourselves differently, but I see myself as kind of the fool in the traditional tarot. But so as ordinary human beings, without exception, we all have the capacity to see the nature of things as they are. Yet from the simplest thoughts in our mind to the most elaborate physical events, instead of appreciating things as they are, all our attention goes to fulfilling our own personal desires. Right? This is a big problem because it causes us to spend our days trapped in the cavern of struggle. This is the striking fact of our dualism, or placing ourselves in constant opposition with the phenomenal world around us. On the other hand, we can choose to move in the direction of least resistance. So this is a story. It's mostly, there's a lot of it about me and my personal experience. But and then I go on. We live our lives with an insatiable desire, mofo. That's what it's all about. Read the book, man. Read the book. Read the whole thing. Go all the way through it. And I show you about mind, and it stems out of the Buddhist stuff. Did I lose anybody talking about myself, man? Because, you know what I mean? It's just I'm trying to help. I wrote the book to help people. I said I'm giving it away for free, man. It is deep. Yeah, it is pretty deep. It's all right. So we'll get away from deep now. Now we'll get into the real stuff. Desire. Titty dancers. Woo. Speaking of desire, Wyoming strip club reopens with masks on, clothes off party. So strip club, right? The strip clubs are opening up in Wyoming, and they're wearing masks. How unattractive is that, right? It's like, oh, you know what? I had this thought, right? That one of the goals of this thing, one of the goals of the ruling class has always been to de-escalate the population, to start to decrease the overall population. Whether you kill half of them, or you just sterilize them, or you start to create a way where people don't reproduce as fast, right? There's a desire to do that now, right? What better way to de-escalate or depopulate the future of the planet by telling people to stay 6 feet away from each other, that they may catch a disease, a communicable disease. Wow. Right? So there is a possibility that also adds to the conspiracy theory. That one of the reasons is that there's simply too many people, and that in their view, in the billionaire class view, there's just too many people. There's like not enough resources, too many people. Let's get rid of some of these freeloaders. And let's convince people that they're dirty and they're, Now the other theory I have is about why the billionaire class would go with the masks, right? Keep your mouth shut. Don't speak. Walk around like this with your mask on. Walk around like this with your mask on. So you can't really speak because no one really gives a shit what you're saying. Nobody cares what you're saying because you're nobody. Maybe that's two things right there. Yeah, she's carrying a Corona beer. Very good observation right there. So there's no they're no longer clothed for business. Ha 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 ha. Wyoming jiggle joint. A Wyoming jiggle joint reopened after the weekend with a masks-on party, close-off party as it debuts new coronavirus safety guidelines. Okay, this is a risk. This is a risk we're taking," said the owner, Kim Chavez. Huh? Why is it a risk? Why is it a risk? Oh, this leads into the fart fucking thing from yesterday, right? So don't expose your ass, because don't let them fart in your face. So stupid, right? It's ridiculous, right? So if the clothes are off, that means you can get farted on, right? They gotta wear a ass cover. Right? How ridiculous, right? It's so ridiculous. It's dehumanizing, really, right? So it's denigrating the humanity of people. It's denigrating their humanity. That, oh, all right. So if you want to be a stripper, that's your choice. You want to show off your body in front of horny men, and you know, and desired women who desire that. You want to strut your stuff and wiggle your jiggle on a pole. Go ahead and do it. Nobody's stopping you. Is it making your life miserable? Are you selling your soul by doing it? Well, that's up to you to decide. People can dance. It's not to say that everyone that gets into a jiggle joint as a performer becomes a prostitute and has a miserable life. That's not the case at all. It's service. It's a service. You're providing a service, right? So if it doesn't bother you, then you're good to go. Right? If you're detached from it, right? I guess I don't know why I mentioned that, but because I think there's a stigma with strippers that they're hookers and they're doing something dirty and nasty. I don't know about that. I don't really have an opinion. It's not something that I would do. You know, even in my youth, I wouldn't do. Why would I do that? You know, I put that in there as it's denigrating. You do better things with yourself than jiggle on a pole. But nonetheless, jiggle joints are open in Wyoming. Man, fucking flock in there, man. Get in there, man. So people are piling in. You're piling in now, man. What's up, everybody? Mark's in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Who's in the chat, man? We got Jason Walsh in the house. Jason Walsh is in the house. Weevil Boy, Joseph Paulici, Angie TV is here. One Trick Pony is in the house. Raymond Duncan, Yoga Fish is here. George's son is here. I'll play some Ozzy at some point. You got to be careful with that. You get struck for that. If you find a live piece, I could do it. Tobacco Road, Jeff is in the house. Put your mask on, he says. Put your mask on, peasants. Fuck that shit, man. Carol Hayes, thank you very much, Carol Hayes. I was just talking about you if you just got here, man. Roll it back. I was just gave you a shout out. Brett Hirsch, thank you. Miss Chicago's here. Thank you very much, man. So here we go, man. So Trump threatens to permanently freeze funding and scathing letter to WHO, the World Health Organization. So Trump is fueling a war. He's fueling a war with China because the WHO leans in favor of China. How much did China pay the WHO? WHO are whores. They're information whores. They present themselves as experts. Fuck you. Trump is right in that regard, but Trump is superficial in that Trump wants to buy them. See, if the WHO is promoting Trump's view that China released the Wuhan virus and they're responsible, then Trump would love him. There's no truth with Trump. Trump is, if you're with me, then that's the truth. If you're not, then you got to go. That's a fundamentally, that's just not the way to do business. I don't think so. It's not the way that I would do. Certainly not the way I do business or would like to do business. So President Trump on Monday threatened to permanently stop U.S. funding to the World Health Organization unless the body commits to substantive improvements. The art of the deal. They got 30 days to substantially improve themselves. In other words, translated, the WHO has gotten a warning that you better support what Pompeo is spewing out about the Wuhan virus and it's China's fault, right? Or else. And WHO won't even acknowledge. They don't even acknowledge the existence of Taiwan. They call it China. When Taiwan comes up, in discussion, they say, "Oh, China." It's fucked up, right? So WHO is definitely in the pocket of China. There's no doubt about that. The announcement was made in a seething letter Trump sent to the WHO director late Monday. So he did it last night. He sent the tweet out. That is why it is my duty as President of the United States to inform you that if the WHO does not commit to major substantive improvements within the next 30 days, I will make my temporary freeze of United States funding to the World Health Organization permanent and make it permanent and reconsider our membership in the organization. Whoa. That would shut them down. Right? It would be fully funded by China, and then it would have no credibility. It would also have no military might behind it, and no bullshit billionaire machine behind it. I cannot allow American taxpayer dollars to continue. American taxpayer dollars. Wow, you remember when we used to say that? Remember when we thought that the tax money was actually flipping the bill for everything, right? They told us that you pay taxes because that's how we pay for everything. Remember when they told us that? Remember when the government told you that your tax money, you feel good about paying your taxes because it's going into the general kitty, and then we find out that that's not what happens at all. That they take that money, it's a little piece of them, it's a piece of the pie, but they just print it. They just get its data entry in a fiat currency system where the Fed just keeps printing money, and the banks just keep taking it and lending it to you at a higher rate, and they call that income. They, in a dead economy, and then every 10 years or so, it pops. It has nothing to do with tax money. Notice the stock market it has no effect on the real economy. The stock market is going up. It was up 900 points yesterday because of the virus story of the company. Company is getting close to making that mRNA virus vaccine. We'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, I digressed. I can't allow taxpayer money. It's not taxpayer money anymore, Mr. President. Trump in mid-April suspended. So Trump is on the move. Trump is trying to shut down the WHO and get them to swing their opinion in our favor. Is it a good move? No, because it's transparent globally. People know what they're doing. I'd support us, USA, or you're with China, you're in bed, and we're going to vilify you and defund you. That's what they do. So, and this is fascinating. Trump says he's been taking hydroxychloroquine to ward off coronavirus. Wow, why? He's taking it as a preliminary precaution. If I hit this, I'm going to get an ad, so I'm not going to hit it. So President Trump on Monday announced that he has been taking the anti-malarial drug hydroxychloroquine. Well, maybe he does say it. Let's watch.
This gets out.
We gotta watch a commercial. Let's watch a commercial together. For $4.99, you can watch this movie on Hulu. City of Angels on Hulu. Motherfuckers. Let's see if we see him say it. There we go. Oh, it's a shitty audio.
You'd be surprised at how
many people are taking it. Especially the frontline workers. Before you catch it. Dr. Trump. The frontline workers, many are taking it.
I happen to be taking it.
Hydroxychloroquine.
I'm taking it. Hydroxychloroquine. Right now, yeah.
Right now I'm taking it. A couple of weeks ago started taking it. Because I think it's good. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and it's good. I'll tell you, right?
It's been around for 40 years for malaria.
I've been around for 40 years for malaria, for lupus, things like that. Frontline workers take it. A lot of doctors take it. Excuse me. A lot of doctors take it. I hope to not be able to take it soon. Because,
But I think people should be allowed to.
Fucking Trump. Do you believe him? Give me a one in the chat if you believe Trump is taking hydroxychloroquine. And give me a 2 in the chat if you think Trump is totally full of shit and just made up that story. A big lie about hydroxychloroquine. 1, he's taking it, and 2, he's full of shit. Let me hear it. So let's read. President Trump President Trump on Monday announced that he has been taking hydroxychloroquine, the anti-malarial drug. I'm not going to read it because I think we just did it, but he's basically doing it as prevention, which is outrageous, right? I mean, I just don't do it. All right, so let's go. All right, so a lot of ones, a handful of twos, kind of split. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1.5. A lot of twos. A lot of twos. 2, 2, 2, 2, twos. I think the twos win. So I would say, based on the chat, that most people think that no, you can't vote twice. Christian Life. Fuck you, man. He voted 4 times. All right, you're gonna get blocked in a second if you keep putting the fucking ones up. All right. So it looks like I would say the twos have it. Trump full of shit. Right? I would go with a 2 as well. I don't believe that Trump is taking hydroxychloroquine and making himself a lab rat. I just don't think so. I don't think it's really possible to get close to Trump anyway with a virus. That's just my opinion. But it's an interesting story, man. It's fucking really interesting. So I was in the subway the other day, right? Yesterday, and I noticed this because that's what I do. I walk around and I daydream, and a lot of times people are like, they walk away from me because I'm just standing there still, and I'm trying to fall. That's what I do. I kind of try to fall into the atmosphere, and I just kind of watch and observe stuff and people. It's just my way, It's just what I do. You got to be alone to do this kind of work for the most part. Not when you're talking to people and engaging, like I'm doing now. But there's a lot of process goes into this. I don't know how to explain it. I don't really know how to explain it. But I did notice this. And I did notice this, that these screens have always been up, but now they're being used it's right out of 1984. It's like Big Brother is watching you, right? And here's the message of the day. Here's what you're supposed to know, the ever-changing message. And you see, it looks like it's a movie, right? So you see right away, what do you see? You see the little COVID-19? You see the little bugs? Right? You see them? It looks like a virus. It looks like virus art. Virus art in the subway, right? Just standing there, right? It's going to change. Watch. Oh, MTA essential plan, right? And it says subways are for essential travel only. Please spread out and stay healthy. Listen to the propaganda. Please spread out and stay healthy. Spreading out means you're staying healthy. It's the backwards way of being a human being. Stay away from people and you'll be healthy. Read my book and you'll find out that's the opposite. Now watch what happens. Watch it flash. I'm going to slow it. I want to see how fast it is. Look at this. Learn how to take care of yourself. Blah, blah. You can't read it. You can't read it because it's moving so fast. Why is it moving so fast? Create as much physical distance. I thought it was 6 feet. Now it's as much physical distance. Cover your nose and mouth and cover coughs and sneezes. Call 911. Do not leave your home except for essential food, medicine, or supplies. Call your doctor. If you are sick. Okay, all right, great. But you see the speed. First, we're imaging people. They're setting it up. This is the setup. Set it up for when people finally return and they're scared and they're fearful and they don't talk to each other. They stay apart. Stay away from people. Be afraid of people. God damn it. Let's have Corona art. It's just an observation. Am I crazy? Am I tripping? Am I hallucinating? Because in late January I had hallucinogenic dreams because I got zapped with the Corona. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it is possible. So what else we got here? So we'll talk about the virus in a second, but I want to talk about these videos. Right? So last night. I was creeping around. I was out and about, right? And here's a video I captured late last night. I told you that the subways are closed between 1 and 5 a.m. I think yesterday I said 1 and 4 a.m. I had that wrong. So they're closed every night between 1 and 5 a.m. apparently to clean. Closed for cleaning. Now this is, again, theory, working theory. Why are the subways closed? What's going on in those subways? Here it is. I was out there. I was out there last night. I was out there about 2:00 in the morning, just standing in front of it, looking at it, seeing if I could see anything happening. Do not enter. It's a cheesy plastic chain. Obviously, it can't keep anybody out. The major gate, the big gate, is not locked. You can clearly step over that, and you'll probably encounter a bunch of police down below, right? But what is going on in the subway? I'm curious. Is it really about cleaning? All right. Check this out. All right. So while I was there, there's more. The audio is a little fucked up because it was windy, but it's not about the audio. People keep asking, what are you doing? What do you guys, where are the homeless? Where are the homeless, right? Breaking, so this is what I saw at 2:00 in the morning when I walked over there, right by the subway. See, there's all this shit going on in the middle of the night, right? Because the subways are closed and there's all this shit. Look at this. 2 cop cars, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 10, 12 cops standing on the corner, and you could see the subway closed. I didn't get too close to them because I don't want to get fucking hassled in the middle of the night. Because I'm not wearing a mask. I'm far away from them. Why are you out? I thought essential work. They could do that if they want to hassle you. Right? City care. So they were picking up homeless people. So if you're homeless on the subway, they will give you a place to be. They will give you a ride to the shelter, apparently, or some other place. But look at those cops, man. Look how many goddamn cops there are. Right? Look at that shit. 2 cop cars. There was another cop car flying around. What are they hiding, right? And then it dissipated, right? And I was listening. What I was looking for is, I'm looking for big equipment. I'm looking for big move. Now, if the subway is closed, it's likely that they can shuffle it in they could shuffle things in and work via train, via the tunnels. It's not necessarily going to go down the steps at the subway, but I am on top of it, and I am watching. I'm looking. I don't trust it. I don't trust why are the subways shut down for 4 hours in the middle of the night. It's an opportunity. What are they installing? What are they removing? What are they setting up in there? Where did these screens suddenly popped out of nowhere? They popped up like weeds. They've been there for a while, but now they seem to be on message. You know what I mean? It's like it's right out of 1984. It's a little spooky. It's a little fucking spooky. So I'm gonna keep following that, right? I don't know where it leads. And then I was really tripping out. And I filmed this, right? It's just a flashing light, right? Isn't it fascinating? Watch. It's just a light. It's bugging out. Listen how quiet New York is. It's just a flashing light. Let's watch it one more time because you weren't ready. Now watch. Hear that silence? What does it mean? It looks like it was in time, too. It looked like a light was timed. What are they, sending out signals? That's some creepy shit right there, right? It's creepy. It's creepy, man. Creepy. So let's talk about your free injection, right? So modern reports, positive results. Moderna, excuse me. Hold on a second. So Moderna is a company, reports positive results from coronavirus vaccine trials. Oh, God, here they come. The company leading the race to develop a coronavirus vaccine announced positive early. They found positive early findings on Monday, with participants producing antibodies to ward off the disease. So this company apparently has found the vaccine. That's what they're saying. Biotech company Moderna dosed 45 patients between ages 18 and 55 with 25, 100, and 250 micrograms of the experimental drug. Experimental drug, or is it a vaccine? We're calling it a drug. Okay, we'll call it a drug. Usually you call it a vaccine, but we'll call it a drug. Let's change the dynamic. It's just a drug. Oh, no, it's just a drug. Just a medication. Take it. It's a drug. Oh, no, drugs, you take, drug, marijuana is a drug. You take alcohol, it's a drug. A drug. It's not a vaccine. Vaccine? No. Don't. Let's change the language a little bit. Let's flip it to it's softer sell. Drug. Oh, we got a drug. We got a drug that makes the virus go away. But meanwhile, it's the drug. It's the virus itself that you're swallowing. That's what a vaccine is. It's a sample of the actual virus that you're ingesting. And 37% of the time, it could activate and you can get sick. Is that the way to do it? No, it's not the way to do it. That's not the way you protect yourself. The way you protect yourself is you stay engaged in the environment. But if they're going to force people to be 6 feet away, that whole way of staying immune is going to go by the wayside. Right? It's going to go by the wayside. People are going to lose their ability to stay immune. So here's this experimental. Let's just get the facts first, right? This is what they're doing. After receiving a second booster shot, those at the 25 and 100 dose level were found with antibody levels that were equal to or exceeded those found in patients who had recovered from COVID-19. Very interesting. Very interesting. So according to this study, according to this report, here's the actual study. This is too, I tried to read it. It's too fucking much, man. It's just too much. I'll read it another time, but I'm just going to go with what the Post is saying right now, New York Post. So they're saying that after receiving a second booster shot, those with 25 to 100 dosage levels were found to have the antibody. So they're working on the dose right now. It's not going to be 250 micrograms. Those people, you take 250 micrograms, your balls fall off, your hair falls out, you're screwed, right? Teeth fall out, right? You start doing this and shit. Your fucking lights start flickering. You start tweaking, maybe. So it looks like they're narrowing in on something that could work for those who want to be vaccinated. Right? Moderna, the CEO said, couldn't have been better. Quote, it couldn't have been better, the results. This is a very good sign that we make an antibody that can stop the virus from replicating. The experimental vaccine, mRNA-1273, we're going to get used to hearing this. mRNA-1273 was found to be generally safe and well tolerated amongst patients, and the company said. Further testing will begin in July. So they're holding out. Moderna stocks soared 26% in pre-market trading on Monday. What did it close? Let's take a look at that. So this is what it's really about. It's really about now you want to find out if it's going to click or not. Let's look here. Dow jumps 900 points. Dow jumps 900 points after Moderna. I didn't follow this. It was yesterday. Let's take a look. Because this is important. Let's see how the market bounced. Let's see how the market bounced. So here's the Dow. Here's the Dow. Dow's down 130 right now. That's not a big deal. That's not a crash. 130 points is nothing. So here's the chart. So yeah, there it goes. Right, it's going to take off again. Right, there it goes. That was the bottom, and now we're taking. It did a bounce off the bottom, and now it's testing the top. If it breaks out of this level, it'll keep going. It'll creep up. Right. Vaccine. Right? Vaccine is going to save the market. It's going to save everything, right? Because all the small businesses aren't reflected in the market anyway, right? And now all the big corporations are going to own those small businesses. Why? Because they choked them out. Right? That's the new economy. That's the new deal. That's the new normal, right? Oh, you can't have small business. No, you don't know how to keep people from getting sick. You're a health threat, and you have to shut down until we tell you can open. When we tell you can open, and you're going to be 3 months behind and everything, and all your food is spoiled, and people forgot your name, and they're never going to come back. Well, that's tough, man, because this is business, man. This is business. Meanwhile, Amazon just probably doubled their equity. It's thievery, man. It's people. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be so sad when these restaurants can't survive, right? They can't survive. They're not gonna bounce back. They're not gonna reopen, and everything is gonna be fine. So So let's do it one more time. Now, give me a 1 if you're ready. If you read this, this is what I want to know. If you read this and you just heard what I told you, that a dose of this vaccine, with all we know about vaccines and all we've talked about on this program about the possibility of water stamping a vaccine as an identifier, something that will certainly de-escalate your immune system and make you more vulnerable to the next one because your body's waiting for the next shot. Right? So all the things that we know about vaccines, all the things that you might believe about vaccines, and the unnecessariness of them, would you take this virus? Would you take this, and that's what it is, would you let somebody shoot this virus into you? That's 1. Or 2, you tell them, stick it up your own ass. All right, so 1 is, I'm ready to take this virus. I like the idea. It sounds good. It sounds like I can protect myself from this thing that they keep telling me is out there. Or 2, all right, take that thing and take that needle and stick it up your own ass, and I'm going to push the fucking plunger. Give me 1 or 2. Thank you. So we're going to listen to this governor right here. This governor's fucking, I mean, this is scary shit. This is 1984 shit, right? This is right out of number 2. Number 2. Everybody's number 2. Yep. Yeah. I mean, what else could you be, right? What else could you be at this point, right? We're all number 2. We're all in the number 2 camp. Not a single number 1. Where's the other jackoff, the pro-Trump guy that said number 1? Yeah. I may have to move to another state, says George's son. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be a deal breaker for me if they're going to come running around saying you can't go into supermarkets unless you pass through this machine that sees if you're vaccinated. But the truth is, for me, I already believe that I got struck with coronavirus at the end of January. So therefore, I probably have the antibody already. And that's why I move around the city fearlessly, because I know, I study biology. I know the facts. I'm armed with the facts. And I'm right and they're wrong so far. Or I'd be dead. But so there's that part of it. If you had coronavirus, right, this thing, whatever it is, if it was a bio attack, whether it was leaked out of us, it doesn't matter. If this thing passed through you, you would obviously show the antibody for it. So therefore, you wouldn't need a vaccine because you already have a natural occurrence within you. All right, so that would be, but they'll change the goalpost and say no, because that's not the real reason they want to vaccinate you. The real reason is they want to scare the shit out of you, win over control of your own body, control your body, and immunize yourself, immunize you for the next attack. They're using the word attack, not me. Listen to this governor. Listen to this governor talk about attack. It's fascinating shit. Listen to this.
Seeming innocence.
The first thing you notice is he's like a machine. He's like a robot, this guy.
In its place, security measures were put into place that we were not accustomed to. How many of us honestly didn't balk the first time or the first many times that we stood at the end of a long TS?
He's talking about 9/11. Let me push you back a little bit.
You could see we are moving forward carefully, methodically, and responsibly. Together we're moving toward what we all must acknowledge will be a new normal.
He keeps driving home that word. That's the phrase. New normal. We're moving towards a new normal. Right? Desensitize people to what's happening. New normal. It's good for you. It's taking care of yourself by staying home and staying 6 feet away from people. This is the new normal. Translated, this is the economic reset that the billionaire class has been waiting for. Now, is it going to backfire? Are people? I don't know. I don't know. What do I think? What do I think in my mind? I think of it as a great opportunity for people to rise up and step out and call the bluff, because the billionaire class would fold. They'd have to, but they're afraid, and the fear worked. The fear is holding the economy down. The fear tactic of constant mainstream media pumping with fear. Right? I'll show you what I mean, right? Check this out. Check this shit out. Here's my radio. Oh, here's my radio. Watch. See, I'm just going to go randomly, right? I'm going to turn the AM radio on. Let's hear what we hear. Watch.
It's called How Can I Know? Answers to Life's 7 Most Important Questions. Not only addresses your questions.
Watch.
All happening, and that's how it feels since the governors of New York and California have both given their blessing to reopen professional team sports in their states. And in California, Governor Gavin Newsom said sporting events can start taking place beginning in June, of course with no fans. But that stands in stark contrast to a Santa Clara County official who had said just a month ago that he couldn't foresee any
Sporting events with no fans, and that's a good thing.
And then sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
See, that's another one, right? That education has now become inconvenient to the billionaire class. Just put them right to work.
Need workers to meet. Genius is planning a study to reconfirm the safety and effectiveness these types of natural white blood cells showed in studies done by others against other viruses. These studies showed the only side effect to be 2 weeks of mild flu-like symptoms. Genius may be able to treat COVID-19. For more information,
Fear.
have some sort of a surveillance system for asymptomatic people as well, and I think that would actually just increase the level of safety of workers in these plants.
How do you have a surveillance system for asymptomatic workers? Because the Ford president in that soundbite seemed to suggest to Noel King that when...
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Just at random, listening to AM radio, you hear the bombardment, bombarding people with fear of this virus. You're not hearing it from me. You're not hearing it from me. I'm armed with the facts. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you what's happening on the ground. I'm telling you what's happening in the hospitals. We're experiencing it together, sometimes live. We're seeing the response from the unfortunately, a lot of time, the police when you get close to the hospitals. But you see the stark contrast, and then you listen to a machine like this guy. Listen to this guy. Listen.
And truth been told, we've been there before. After the 9/11 attacks, our
Now you watch him tie 9/11 to COVID-19. Watch this.
nation was similarly reeling from the massive loss of life and our seeming innocence. In its place, security measures were put into place that we were not accustomed to. How many of us honestly didn't balk the first time or the first many times that we stood at the end of a long TSA checkpoint line being told that we had to take off our shoes while trying to board a plane? But today, the practices and protocols put into place after 9/11 are now part of our routines. We expect greater scrutiny when applying for a driver's license, and we're pretty much all adjusted to giving ourselves more time before a flight.
He's basically saying that the implementation of these masks and distancing is permanent. That's what he's saying. He's saying we got used to it for 9/11, standing in line and jumping through hoops. That never went away. Those guidelines. Everybody's still a terrorist. You go to the airport, everybody's a terrorist. Get online and be accused of being a possible terrorist. I want to check your shoes. Right? That's what's going on. So this governor of New Jersey is basically pitching the community that the guidelines that we're setting up in this country are permanent. Did I hear that right? Because that's what it sounds like.
In many ways, the aftermath of this pandemic will be similar. Right now, we have to remember to bring our face coverings when we go out to the store. In the months to come, it will more and more simply become second nature. And remember, we are resilient.
Remember, we are resilient. Remember, Big Brother loves you. Remember, we're in this together. See what's going on? You see the mind fuck that's going on? It couldn't be more clear in my mind. It's a mind fuck.
Ourselves to a new normal is never easy.
New normal. That's the second time he said it in 3 minutes.
Nor is it ever quick. And as in the time since 9/11, our singular goal will be to prevent another attack by COVID-19.
Right there, okay? Right there, he said it. Prevent an attack. Listen to what he said. I was listening to this on my bicycle yesterday. I had the AM radio. I'm like a fucking old man. I drive around the city with the AM radio on the bicycle. And but listen to it again. Very, very, very disturbing stuff he's saying. Listen to this.
Right now, we have to remember to bring our face coverings when we go out to the store. In the months to come, it will more and more simply become second nature. And remember, we are resilient. Getting ourselves to a new normal is never easy, nor is it ever quick. And as in the time since 9/11, our singular goal will be to prevent another attack by COVID-19.
So there's the revelation that the whole mainstream media, the whole narrative is now going to be that the enemy, shift the enemy. The enemy is the virus. The enemy is not the big businesses. They did it again. I've been telling you all along. I've been called you fuckers, not the people that are probably still here, but for months and weeks and years. People came in here. Conte's a communist. He's a socialist. He's all these things because he keeps saying that the banks are responsible for the downfall of this country. That the greed, that they're taking 95% of the apples and putting them in their pocket, and getting the population to split 5% of the apples. I've been saying it all along, and it's totally playing out. Unless you get the billionaire class out, that is the problem. We have a shadow government, but it's not the government you think. The shadow government is not the FBI, it's not the CIA. It is in a sense, but it's funded by others. It's funded by people like Bezos because the money talks. He's new to the crowd, but there's Rockefellers, there's tons, there's money all over England, there's money all over the world. These wealthy fucks call the shots. They fund the people like the Koch brothers that fund elections. Right? They fund, they fund 100 Republicans and Democrats. They don't care what they are as long as they get what they want. They fund these guys. They fund these politicians to run and win. And they're willing to spend $20 million, $30 million per head to get what they want in government. They're buying government. They're buying opinion. They're buying government. They get the laws they want. Wall Street does it too. Wall Street does it, and then there's laws on Wall Street, and then Wall Street breaks the laws. And then what they do is they petition Congress to change the law to make the law that they broke not illegal. That's how that works. What we did is illegal. Is it? It's not illegal. No. Let us explain. Let us explain what credit default swaps are, and it's not illegal. This is how we work. I know it looks like that other thing that used to be illegal, but what we're talking about here is not illegal, or it shouldn't be anyway. It's on the edge of illegality. And then what they do is they give the congressmen and the senators a couple of $1 million, spread the money around, and they get the law to change. Right? That's what's happening, right? And talking heads like this are responding to the billionaire class. Guys like Bill Gates. How many times we got to play the clips? He came out of his wife's mouth, said, unless there's an equity interest in this, we're not interested. She said that. I don't know if she slipped or she just thinks that it's. She's reaching out to the other billionaires, that there is equity. There's money to be made in this vaccine thing that just happened. Right. There's more. Right. So that's where he calls it an attack. To me, that's disturbing. Now it's an attack. Listen to this part. Now he gets into the vaccine stuff. Watch.
It's an enormous amount of good. And again, for the roughly 25%, that group at the top, of our workforce who can work from home, and by the way, have basically been doing that throughout, you too should expect to continue with this for the foreseeable future. But until, and I'm now going to practice Judy and Eddie without a license here, until either a proven vaccine is in our midst or proven therapeutics are widely available, we cannot firmly enter the new normal, which eventually awaits us, when life will once again return to all of our workplaces, downtowns, and main streets.
I mean, if that doesn't bother you, I mean, Listen to it again. I like to listen to things twice. Check this out. Listen again.
Continue with this for the foreseeable future. But until, and I'm now going to practice Judy and Eddie without a license here, until either a proven vaccine is in our midst or proven therapeutics are widely available, we cannot firmly enter the new normal, which eventually awaits us.
The new normal, which eventually awaits us. That's it. The new normal. The new normal that eventually awaits us, based on no scientific evidence, based on nothing. See how the policy is already in place? The policy and the rhetoric and the be afraid of each other, make the enemy a virus, but we can't see the evidence. We never saw autopsies. The doctors in the hospitals were saying something different, that it's not a virus. It's starting to look like it was something deliberate. Is it activated by some other force where people, closest to a 5G tank or something, get zapped, right? That they're infected. There's so many uncertainties to move right towards. They're pushing people right into that vaccination area. Right? This is not conspiracy theory. I don't fuck with conspiracy theory. It's just I'm saying to you now that this is a theory. This is working theory. Right? There's other people, like if I came out and I told you that this is 100% a bio attack, I can prove it. I have evidence. My source said. Right? That's what jackoffs do. That's what fake news does. I don't do that. I'm telling you that the preponderance of the evidence right now is pointing towards something that was planned, inevitable, that was leading up to this moment, and suddenly they struck and got the reset, the financial reset they wanted at the right time. When their markets became unequitable, when their markets became unsustainable, they attacked. Now, who did it? Right? Who did it? Is it an outside force? No. In my view, my theory is that it's exactly who we're talking about. We're talking about a billionaire class that funds this kind of research. Guys like Bill Gates, who's on the record funding this kind of research. I don't want to listen to any more of this guy, but if you want to listen to it, I'll drop the link in there. And you listen to it for the first half hour of this, and it's just fucking staggering, man. It's like he's like a machine. He's Big Brother. Are we going to have guys like this, this voice? Listen to his voice. His voice is like, it's scary.
When life will once again return to all of our workplaces, downtowns, and main streets. Most importantly, we will continue to be guided by the principle that public health creates economic health. And if we begin to see a backslide in public health, we will have to also pull back on the reins of our restart.
So there you go. There's the power grab right there. Again, it's full of all kinds of stuff like this, attacks. But he's saying that if we see a spike in the health problem, then we'll pull back the economy. All right, so that's a warning. They're basically saying it's a warning that they'll then, all they have to do to get another under the current circumstances, to get another economic reset, all they have to do is release another virus. If another virus comes along and gets people sick, they'll shut the economy down again, which basically means that an investment in this country is no longer a safe investment. It's no longer a safe investment to own up to buy a storefront and start a small business, because you're not protected. You're vulnerable to vulture capitalists you're going to accumulate a business and a storefront and equipment, and then they're going to unleash this shit and shut it down, and then you're not going to be able to get back on your feet. You see how they're wiping out the middle? They're wiping out the middle. The corporations that are controlled by a billionaire class are wiping out the middle right now. Again, I said it from the beginning. I said that's exactly what the plan would be, that to knock out small business. Greed knows no limits. Right? They're going to just take. Everybody has to work for Walmart or Apple Exxon Mobil or any of these corporations, right? Build bombs. Let's start a war. We'll get the war machine going again. Be like you got to deflate them. You got to get the money out. You got to get the money out of politics, man. I'm not fear mongering either. So anyway, hey, Marcus Conte reporting, man. So that was pretty heavy, man. Sorry to be so heavy in the morning, but fucking, you got to get it out, man. You got to get it out, right? This is the work we're doing right now. We're out there, we're trying to figure it out, trying to figure out what the hell's going on in this crazy pandemic. Is it real? Is it fake? There's, they're pushing this virus, man. Virus shit, fucking, I don't know, man. I don't think it's real. You know what I mean? I don't think it's real. Hold on a second. I gotta pick something up. Crazy. I'm gonna try to play. I'll play Crazy Train live because somebody asked me to play it. But let's see.
So Lit Mobile just sent me this.
I'll try to play it.
wireless battery pack.
I'll risk a little. I'll risk a little shot. Let's see if we can find one. I'm only gonna give you a little bit of it. That's Randy Rhoads, by the way. That's a definite strike, man. I'm sorry, I can't. If I do it, it's gonna strike. But anyway, man. So Marcus Conte reporting, man. So let's take us out. Let's let these guys take us out. These guys. Let's let Adam play now. Sorry. Yeah, baby. Hey, Vinny DiMartini in the house. So thanks everybody for sharing, man. Thanks everybody for coming in, man. Stay positive. Get out in the sun, man. Do the right thing. Don't play into all this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Send me your music. I'll play it. If it's original and it's you. I prefer live video, but I'll play this. I prefer live video. I'll say it again. You got to send me an email. You got to send it an email, and in the email, you have to say, I give you permission to use my music. That's the deal. Peace, everybody.